Sirianni. Does scare me a little bit. Eagles scared me tremendously last week, tremendously. And so what I said at the beginning of the handicap, talking about them maybe just running all over LA, that very well may back me off of this, but I'm leaning Rams taking the 6 points, kind of like the Rams plus 225 on the money line. I didn't like the energy in Philadelphia, right? At one point, Brown, looking at number 11, looking at the program on not a program.
AJ Brown.
Thank you. AJ Brown is
like
reading
a Bible
book.
or
I thought it was a Bible,
yeah.
but it was like an inspirational book of some sort. You know, for me, I just don't love sort of last week. Even though they covered the spread, I thought they needed to sort of play a really good football game and they didn't. So it scares me a little bit where I think the Rams come in. I thought the Rams were going to be more confident than the Vikings. They most certainly were. I think the Rams come in playing with house money. I sort of like the points here, but Philly, if they run all over them and impose their will, could totally change my opinion about their ability to go into Detroit and win the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, I think for Philly, they're going to beat the Rams because of Saquon Barkley. And I think the number earlier in week 12 was 255. You also haven't unleashed Jalen Hurts on the ground yet either. And that is a big luxury that Philadelphia does have to continue to complement their running game. But I think there's also a matchup in there. And you mentioned it, Jay, that it was Nick Sirianni against Sean McVay. But in reality, it's more Vic Fangio against Sean McVay, the defensive coordinator of Philly. And that's where getting up early really matters, because I think for a guy like Fangio, he's a crusty old prick who loves to coach to physicality. What do the Rams not love? The physicality, especially on the outside, forcing those receivers to block and have to fight and get into route. So I think there's opportunity for Philly. And I'll tell you this, I think there's opportunity here for Jalen Carter. I didn't look up the market